I remember feeling it before I even opened my eyes. This heaviness, like something was holding me down but not touching me. I wasn't dreaming, I was awake. My body wouldn't move, but my mind was screaming. Then I heard the door creak open, and I thought, maybe someone's coming to help. But then I heard your voice, whispering, "Go to sleep. You need it." Except, you were lying right next to me. That's when I knew something else was in the room. And I wasn't alone.
The motel clerk said room 209 was closed, said it was being fumigated, but the key worked. The room was cold, desert cold, like the kind that lives underground. I didn't see the man at first, just a shape in the chair, lit by the flicker of a broken TV. He never moved, never blinked, but the mirror behind him showed him staring straight at me. I turned off the TV. He was gone. But the mirror, still showing the chair, still showing him, still smiling.
They say the fields behind his home were once barren, until he planted something that wasn't a seed, but a promise. A promise whispered by something ancient and hungry. With every carving, every twist of wire, he gave shape to the nightmares that once spoke only to him. His hands did not tremble, they remembered. He stitched together straw, rot, and sorrow, and the field began to move again. The first of his harvest raised its head and smiled. One by one he filled the rows with his creations. They watched the horizon, waiting for the sun to die. And from the heart of the field came one unlike the rest. Its grin burned through the dusk, a lantern for the damned. No one knows what he buried beneath that soil. But every October when the wind turns cold, something new grows among the corn. And if you listen long enough, you can hear him, still creating.
There's a channel that doesn't exist on the TV. It only appears after midnight, when the world is quiet and your guard is down. You won't find it in any guide, but if you ever wake up to static and something watching you from the screen, just know, you're already part of the show. I found the tape at a yard sale, handwritten label, "Do not rewind." Of course, I rewound it. It started like a family birthday, 1990-something, kids' cake clapping. But 30 seconds in, the footage glitched. The people stopped moving, except for one person near the back, a woman in all black. She stared directly into the lens, didn't blink, didn't belong. I paused the tape. The screen went black. But the woman's face, it stayed on the screen. And now, every time I pass a mirror, she's closer. I always thought cats could see things we couldn't, but this one, it didn't just see them, it called them. Every night at 3:33, it would stare into the corner and growl, not hiss, growl, low and human-like. And when I tried to move it, it looked at me like it knew what I dreamed about. I don't think it's my cat anymore, and I don't think I'm the one who feeds it. We thought it was uninhabited, just an island off the map, swallowed by fog. But when night fell, the air changed. We saw shapes in the trees, heard whispers under the waves. They weren't just watching, they were waiting. Spirits bound to this land, cursed to relive their deaths, and now they want us to stay. Forever. They only come out when the moon is full, identical, pale, always whispering to each other in a language no one understands. We thought they were just kids playing dress-up until we saw them walk through the locked gate. Now every night they leave tiny footprints in the hallway, even when the house is empty. I found it in a locked storage room at an estate sale. The man warned me, don't hang it near where you sleep. but I did. The first night, I heard footsteps behind the canvas. The second night, their eyes were in a different place. And last night, they stepped out of the painting. I'm not alone in this house anymore. And the painting? It's empty. Every autumn, when the leaves turn blood red and the corn grows tall, we hear it stirring. The harvest. The elders say the land must be fed, a life for a season's plenty. We draw names by candlelight and pray it isn't ours. Last year it was my brother. His screams still echo in the fields. This year, when the wind carried the voice of the harvest through the stalks, it whispered my name. The doll wasn't hers, that's what the neighbors said. She never brought it home, it just showed up one day in her arms, muddy and old, its porcelain face cracked, one glass eye missing. She named it Lullabelle, wouldn't go anywhere without it. Then things started happening. Cold spots in the house, doors opening by themselves, and the music box, the one we threw away. It kept playing the same lullaby every night at 3:12 a.m. Last Halloween, I heard her talking to the doll in her sleep. She said Lullabelle wanted a new home. She was staring right at me when she said it. It started with one. A mannequin in the store window across the street. I noticed it because it wasn't there yesterday. The next night, it had moved. Same mannequin, but now it stood closer to the glass, head tilted toward my apartment window. I told myself it was just a prop, until I saw it in the alley, then outside my door. I haven't left since. Now there are 4. They don't knock. They just watch. And every time I blink, they get closer. I think, no, I know. The next time I look away, they'll be inside.
It rang at 3:12 a.m. No caller ID, just static. I answered, thinking it was a prank. But the voice on the other end was mine. Not just mine. Older, weary, terrified. She told me not to go downstairs, that if I did, I'd never leave the house. Then she whispered, "You have 60 seconds." The line went dead, and now I hear footsteps coming up. But I live alone. I never went downstairs. I never will. But every night since, the phone rings. And every night, I answer.
She thought it was just another late-night horror binge. The TV flickered, the sound of static filling the room as the ghost on screen stared back. At first, it looked like bad reception. But then, the figure pressed against the glass, its shape distorting the picture as if trying to crawl through. The lights dimmed, the walls hummed, electricity surged through the house, wires buzzing like veins under the skin. She felt it move, out of the TV, into the circuits, slithering through every outlet and light bulb. Then came the touch. Cold, invisible fingers trailing down her spine, leaving her frozen in place. She realized the show hadn't ended. It had only just begun. The storm drove me to the inn, a creaking relic, glowing faint beneath the thunder. The innkeeper greeted me with a smile that never touched his eyes. Dinner was served, the same stew, again and again. Each time I blinked, I was back at the threshold, rain dripping from my coat, greeted with the same words. "Welcome, traveler." I smashed my room's clock, tore down the wallpaper, even tried to run into the storm. But no matter what I did, I awoke once more at the inn's door, lightning splitting the sky. And I think the inn doesn't want me to leave. It wants me to remember.